Veterans in Transition is sponsored by HireVeteransFirst.com, Jelani Consulting, and Village Connector Community.
Welcome to Veterans in Transition, where we promote the veteran community. Each week we travel around the region highlighting veteran-related news, issues, and events. In this episode, we introduce you to the National Small Business Engagement Director at the VA. Are you fishing for government contracts? We'll show you how to prepare. We'll hear from a World War II veteran who served with the Montford Point Marines. And this week's Vets Talk. As the director of the VA's National Veteran Small Business Engagement, Michelle Gardner-Ince leads the department's premier event for veteran-owned small businesses to connect with procurement decision makers and contracting experts from the federal and commercial marketplace. Veteran correspondent Catherine Roberts has this story.
You've spent a lifetime, as you mentioned, serving other people.
Yes.
How has the discipline of what you've learned in the military translated into the passion you have now helping other people, especially women veterans?
Service is all I know. You know, I was born with an ID card. My dad was in the Army. I like to think that I went to the kindler, gentler service of the Air Force. I think they call us the corporate entity of the military. When the opportunity came to come to the VA after 27 years in the Air Force, I jumped at it because, again, I love serving and helping veterans and military members and their families. I would say, you know, my passion for helping veterans is because, oh my God, we learn leadership. We understand how to run and operate things. We know how to develop and manage people. We also know how to be resourceful, so we can take something or nothing and make something. You know, and failure's not an option.
Tell us, what are some of the challenges that you see women veterans coming to you with, and how do you help them overcome those challenges?
We have a program called Verification, which is under the Center for Verification and Evaluation. We vet veteran businesses so that they can be competitive for non-competitive contracts. Through this program, we look at several tenets. One, are they a veteran or a service-disabled veteran? Two, are they owned by the veteran, at least 51%? And three, are they 100% controlled by the veteran business? What I love about this is the program has become the 5-star standard, not only for the federal government, but for commercial industries. So once a company goes through our verification process and is certified as a veteran-owned or service-disabled veteran-owned business, what happens is commercial entities use that certification as an opportunity for them to enter into their supplier diversity program for contracts as well.
I just love how you're focusing on not only leadership, but bringing people together. And that's really what it's all about.
It is.
Especially when it comes to the veteran community. As women, we have to be out there supporting each other.
Women veterans are resilient. We have leadership capabilities that women of our age would have never gotten the opportunity to lead and manage at such young, and do it successfully at such a young age. If you hire a veteran, if you, whether it be business or individually, you get a work standard, a work ethic, and you get about 5 people in one, because generally we know how to write well, we know how to speak well, we know how to get things done, and we know how to work in teams.
Do you have a personal mission statement as a woman, as a veteran, as somebody who has honorably served our country?
My personal mission statement is first leadership. Then I would say it's about mentoring, pulling up and helping as many people as I can, and then connecting my excellence with the excellence of others to create great and amazing things.
As an executive coach, Valerie Brown understands the importance of people and the foundation needed to optimize their lives. In this week's Vets Talk, Valerie shares the reason behind her mantra of leave no one behind.
I've got two dynamic speakers. It's going to be hard to follow their act, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to take it back a little bit further than just my military service. So, because it's important to let you know how I even got to where I am today. That being said, I actually started, I was in college, I did ROTC in college, but before that time, so I transitioned from a college student to ROTC. It's very important to know, because I actually turned down some Army ROTC scholarships so that I was like, I'm not going to do that. But when I got to college, I saw this young lady, her name was Sherry Cummins, so if she watches this show, it's going to be great. I'm giving her some love. She had a Spitfire, a convertible, and she had on her Army uniform. She was the epitome of everything that I didn't think a woman in the military would look like. She was an amazing black woman in a university that didn't really have black women. So I saw her and I started talking to her about ROTC. And she told me, she said, you should try it. It's a great summer job. Get out of your comfort zone. It's going to be challenging. You're going to do a lot of push-ups. They're going to stretch and grow you. She goes, you may even grow some, because Sherry was about 5'10". I'm about 5'3¼ I push it to 5'4". It makes me feel better. My daughter's about 5'7". So that being said, I thought I could try this, and I did. And I have to tell you, no regrets. I went to Fort Knox, and I absolutely loved it. Most of the people did not, but I loved it. I got dropped a lot for push-ups. Actually, they said, do you want to be dropped? And I go, yes, drill sergeant. And he said, please, say please. And I did a lot of push-ups. I came back, and I was fit. Everybody lost weight. I gained 10 pounds. And over the years, that added a few more, but that's another story. But my time in the military was really amazing. I learned a lot about myself, really deep down. I did things that I never thought I would do. Push-ups, slide for life, swimming activities. I'm a non-swimmer, so they would grab the hook and pull me out. But I learned a lot about myself. And I also learned a lot about people in that experience too. That being said, one story I'd like to share. We were at Fort Knox, and it was a water activity. It was like going across a river, and they actually said, there are water moccasins there. I'm afraid of snakes. And that was the day I was totally willing to walk away. And this guy from Texas said, get on my back. He said, I'll carry you. Very large guy, about 6'5", probably like 230 pounds, huge. So I've got my rucksack on, and he carries me across the water because the drill sergeant said, no one will be left behind today. I was willing to walk away. I said, I'm good. I'm not going to do this because I'm not going to drown, but more importantly, I'm not going to be tangling with a water moccasin. But he carried me on his back with my ruck on my back up a steep hill. And when we got to the top, I said, you can put me down. And he goes, no, I want to finish it to the end. He carried me with about 50 pounds on my back. So I was weighing 110 then. That's a lot. And what it showed me was that there was someone that actually cared enough about me to make sure that I wasn't left behind that day. And I have always adopted that attitude going forward, okay? So that was the transitioning into my military career. I spent almost 5 years in. I resigned as a captain. Back in the day, they didn't really work well with military spouses. My husband is a retired Army officer, and they didn't really, the services had really high divorce rates, and my son was 6 months old. So I had to make some decisions. So I opted out. I resigned my commission. No regrets there. I transitioned to the DOD. I became a federal employee. So I still stayed true to myself and to the Army. That being said, it gave me so much because I took a low-paying GS7 job, GS9, GS7, which I turned down corporate America for 6 figures to make $35,000. Real tight budget, no regrets. It parlayed all my leadership skills, and I grew in the federal sector. Moving around, that gave me an opportunity to actually excel and to show others that you didn't have to stay a GS9, GS11, whatever. You could grow, because there was someone there rooting for me, and I was rooting for them. The Army gave me that. They taught me discipline, perseverance, teamwork. Not I got mine, and now you get yours. And so the other speakers shared their stories, and it was very clear that they didn't do it alone. And the Army does tell you that you're not going to be doing it alone, but no man left behind. And that's important. I carry that today too. So fast forward, my other transition, after I left the service, after I left the government, I took an early retirement so that I could actually do what I'm doing now, which I absolutely love. But that was taking the leap of faith, as the other speaker said, because you do wonder sometimes, can I do it? And I have to tell you, at the end of the day, I knew I could do it, but I needed someone to push me. And who pushed me is actually here with me today. It's my daughter. And she always said, you know, you can do this, Mom. And I said, you know, you're right, I can. I just needed just that one person, even though I knew in here that I could do it, for her to tell me and be in my corner, and my son, who's not here, he lives in California. They have been the biggest supporter for me since I've been on my own. And it is a very emotional thing for me, because when you see your offspring and you're able to share that with them and give them all the things that the leadership of the Army shared with you, the teamwork, perseverance, but integrity along the way, and hard work. So my leadership ability in the government earned me an early retirement. 5-year early retirement, full benefits, even a severance package. I'm putting that out there because it was amazing. So life has really been a huge journey for me, one that has been, I can't even describe, it's just been amazing and beyond amazing. But those Army skills, they have been in tow all the way, 100%. And I take them now, and I take them forward, and I'll take them forever forward. So my business, VBC Consulting, is just the beginning. We're actually doing well. We're growing. We've been in business now a little over a year. I can't complain. It's going well. I'm on the road to get into where I want to be, and I've got some great people in my corner. And the bottom line is, as I continue to grow, I don't leave anyone behind. I take people with me. I offer them opportunities. Sometimes the opportunities pan out, sometimes they don't, but they're right there with me, ready when the opportunities avail themselves. And that's why I say it's teamwork along the way. I always say this area, DC, or Northern Virginia, the DMV, it's a big area, and there's a lot of people out there on their grind. But there's enough pie for everyone to have a crumb. And I have to tell you, that's what it's all about, sharing all the blessings that you get, and also motivating and encouraging those to get out there and strike on their own, because you don't have to leave anyone behind.
In our Business of the Week, Dwight Hunt of B3 Group uses the analogy, let's go fishing, to explain the importance of how to position your company to go after government contracts.
I graduated from United States Military Academy in 1991. I was commissioned as an artillery officer. Spent time at Fort Riley, Kansas, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. After my command time in 1st of the 12th Field Artillery, I transitioned to a Information Technology Management Officer. I went to Naval Postgraduate School to get my master's in Information Technology Management. While after graduation from there, I worked for an Information Systems Officer for about 2 years, and I transitioned to the Army Acquisition Corps. B3 Group Incorporated is a hub zone, service-disabled, veteran-owned small business. We do health IT services at the Department of Veteran Affairs. We have capability for knowledge management, agile software development, help desk, and infrastructure support. Everybody wants to go fishing and catch a big fish. And so every veteran who started a business wants to go win that prime contract. And again, That's a great goal to have, but the question is, what are you fishing for? And do you have a big enough boat? If you catch that $10 million task order you're trying to work, what's the risk that you get when you catch that task order? Have you mitigated those risks? So where our fishing analogy is, let's go fishing. Do you have a big enough boat? Do you have the operational support that can support a win? Do you have the sales team that can go out there and work to find sales for you? Do you have a delivery team? That infrastructure either needs to be either in place, or you need to have a plan to put it in place should you win. One of the challenges for having to do that is we had to hire multi-talented people. When you work for B3 Group, when we're a 10-person company, you can't do one thing. You have to be able to fish. You have to be able to change the bait. You have to be able to reel it in. You have to be able to bring it on and get it into the cooler so we can go prepare it later and cook the fish. You have to be able to do all of those things in a small business, wear many hats. Our mantra is fire yourself. So if you're responsible for a task that's taking a lot of time, win revenue, hire someone, fire yourself from that task and let somebody do that task that's maybe better at it than you are, with more skills than you, but I gotta win work to grow the revenue to be able to bring and fire yourself. So me and my business partner's mantra as we grew was fire ourselves from HR, from contracts, from all the tasks that were taking us away from growth. Bring the future to the present. So if you wanna be a 300-person company in the future, what information do you need to know today? What organizational structure do you need to put in place today? Who are the people you would hire to be that company? Have an idea of that today so that when you get to that place, you've laid the foundation to get there on a smooth transition. So make sure that if you go fishing, you can bring that thing in successfully. Then the more you catch, then you get confidence to go after a little bigger fish the next time, and then maybe a little bigger fish the next time, and build that confidence in those reps rather than trying to go catch a 300-pound marlin when you've never ever fished before in your life.
We had the privilege of speaking with World War II veteran Morris D. Craig, a Montford Point Marine who diligently served to protect our country in the 1940s during a time when the military was separated by racial divides. Here, in his own words.
Me and my three friends, we were sitting around talking. Every day you got a letter before the draft, and you was on pins and needles when they gonna call you. So we decided, let's all volunteer and get this over with. And that's how we all volunteered for Marines. We all got together and we left Washington, D.C. at 6:40 p.m. to go to North Carolina. And we got in boot camp. Didn't have much problem. I didn't never have no military training because I didn't have it, never high school cadet corps. I would never join that because my father said, I ain't got no money for a uniform, so you don't need that. So I didn't have any formal military training at all. My two friends had military training. Being out in the Washington area was something new to me because I'd never been no farther than Virginia. And all I was in Virginia was in high school. I was on the football team and the basketball team, and we used to go to Virginia to play Virginia teams. And then Baltimore teams. That's as far as I've been was my young life. Well, we had that team before we went into the service. All the guys from high school had it. Infinite High School had this team. When the war broke, they broke up. When they came back, most of the guys went to high school with me. We formed together. And we got this team, and most of us was in the Marine Corps with me. And we all got together, and we won the city's championship the first year we played. And I won the most valuable player in the league that year. The reason is because I won the most valuable player in the league because we had a system, what they call the fast break. When the ball was on the backboard, my turn was to get down the floor. And when you were free, you got the ball. I ended up scoring 20 points because the black break, not because I was that good. That's the system we used. We all trained at Montford Point. We had a place called we was stationed at a place called Knox Camp. We was a little off the Mumford Point base. We were separated. So then we stayed there till we got trained in the 90mm gun. Well, I was trained in the 30 caliber machine gun. We left North Carolina, a group, about 200. They broke it down in groups on a train to California. Well, we had a little conflict in California at the base of that because wasn't any Marines there much. The most was old sailors and stuff like that. And they told us we couldn't go to the movie unless we sat in the back. That was me and this vast group, you know, the other group hadn't come yet. So the guys just say, well, we're not gonna come to the movie. Nobody's going to the movie. So they got a big rock and rolled down the hill and broke the screen. And the colonel told us, take your time, don't do anything till the rest of the outfit come. But at the end of the week, the rest of the outfit, we didn't have no problem after they saw how strong we were and how many men we had. And we didn't have brooms and dustpans, we had rifles and guns. So after that, we didn't have no problem. We were trained to do for your fellow man. If your buddy got in trouble, you got in trouble. If your buddy got in the fight, you got in the fight. That was taught in the Marine Corps. Stick together. Then we got on the ship to go overseas. And we hit an island called Funi in the Ellis Island. We were on the end of the island, so we stayed there until they moved us up to Marshall Island. And we stayed in the Marshall Island to the end of the war. One thing changed, we didn't have any black officers. Our highest rate person was a sergeant. And we had white officers during the war. After integration, we got black colonels, black lieutenants, black captains, black everything, you know. So by integrating, we got moved ahead. Just wasn't an outfit that's controlled by white lieutenants. We had your own lieutenants. I went back and got my high school diploma, first thing. And then I went to photography school at night until then I got married, which changed the whole system. Well, one thing they had set up for veterans, they had government jobs for veterans, messengers. You could go to the job and be a messenger if you're a veteran. They save that for the messenger. So I took those jobs and did it a while until I became a clerk. When they broke it down to, you could go, take a civil service exam, get in the job you want. That's when I made the move to be a clerk. And I retired at being a clerk. And then I took a little work for myself doing puzzles. All day long, I said, sitting right here waiting for something to happen. I started doing puzzles. And if I put them together and put them on the wall, and I got so many puzzles that they had no wall space, so I started doing and giving them to people that wanted them. My two brothers in the Navy, one got killed in Port Chicago. It was ammunition dump, or that you know, ammunition for the ships, you know. That's all I know about it. And the thing exploded, and my brother was one of they got killed in there. Norman Craig. And my older brother was in the Navy, and my next brother, him and I were in the Marine Corps. And my youngest brother, he won the Korean War later on, he served in the Navy. Ended up being a priest though. Well, I appreciate anybody in the service and doing what leaving their home and going in there to protect the country. My hat's off to them every day. I hope these young people understand what the older people went through to see what they got today and try to improve it instead of tearing it down. But they got an attitude, if don't do it my way, I don't want no parts of it, which is the wrong attitude. I think it's life.
That's all for this edition of Veterans in Transition. We ask that you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. If you have a story, reach out to us at vetsinTransition.com. And remember, we all have a story to tell. Until next time.
We have an opportunity to recognize a living Martha Plummer. Attention orders.
Certificate of Recognition, United States Congress, Congressional Gold Medal awarded to Morris Dogan Craig in recognition of honorable service during the period of 1942 to 1949 while promoting peace and stability for the United States of America during World War II. The people of this nation are forever grateful. And a unanimous and bipartisan vote by the members of the 112th Congress of the United States, the